Hey guys. Ow, sorry. Didn't mean to cough there. Moved myself a little closer. Thank you for watching today, and we're gonna be starting in chapter 16 of Zodius. And I did get a haircut. If you can see, it's not like a bull haircut anymore. So last time we were in the desert with the Egyptians and Moses, and them getting away from, or yeah, the Egyptians getting away from the Egyptians, but really are, Jewish. Anyways, them getting away from the Egyptians for trying to kill them because they're like, oh, hey, we're still going to come and chase you even after we let you go. So, kind of messed up. So, let's get into this. The provisions of manna, or mana, however you want to say it. And when they journeyed from Elim, the entire company of Israelites came to the desert of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their Zodius from the land of Egypt. The entire company of Israelites murmured against Moses and Aaron in the desert. The Israelites said to them, if only we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat, when we ate bread to full, for you have brought us out to the desert to kill this whole assembly with hunger. No, he didn't mean to do that. The Lord said to Moses, I'm going to rain bread from heaven for you, and the people will go out and gather the amount of each day so that I may test them. Will they walk in my law or not? On the sixth day, they will prepare what they bring in, and it will be twice as much as they gather every other day. Moses and Aaron said to the Israelites, in the evening you will know that the Lord has brought you out of the land of Egypt, and in the morning you will see the glory of the Lord, because he has heard your murmurings against the Lord. As for us, what are we, that you should murmur against us? Yeah, why should you, Moses just brought you from out of Egypt, saving your butt. You would think, oh, hey, let's not, be mean against him. Moses said, you will know this when the Lord gives you meat to eat in the evening and bread in the morning to satisfy you, because the Lord has heard your murmurings, that you are murmuring against him. As for us, what are we? Your murmurings are not against us, but against the Lord. Then Moses said to Aaron, tell the whole community of Israelites, come before the Lord, because he has heard your murmurings. Oh no. As Aaron spoke to the whole community of Israelites, and they looked toward the desert, there the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And the Lord spoke to Moses, I have heard the murmurings of the Israelites. Tell them, during the evening you will eat meat, and in the morning you will be satisfied with the bread, so that you may know that I am Lord your God. In the evening the quail came up and covered the camp, and in the morning a layer of dew was all around the camp. When the layer of dew had evaporated, there on the surface of the desert was in a thin, flaky substance, thin like a frost on the earth. So, like snow? Is that what you're trying to say? When the Israelites saw this, they said to one another, what is this? What is this? Or what is it? Sorry. Because they did not know what it was. Moses said to them, it is bread that the Lord has given you for food. This is what the Lord has commanded. Each person is to gather from it what he can eat in a omer per person. I guess that's like a mer is like a piece of bread, or how much they can eat per. Probably says down here in the little context down here. According to the number of your people, each one will be picked up for whoever lives in the tent. Okay. The Israelites did so, and they gathered some more, some less. When they measured with an omer The one who gathered much had nothing left over, and the one who gathered little lacked nothing. Each one had to gather what he could eat. Well, yeah, you don't want to be a glutton. Or glutton. Sorry, glutton. Eat too much. I have that problem. I'm sorry. Moses said to them, "No one is to keep any of it until morning." But they did not listen to Moses. Some kept part of it until morning, and it was full of worms and began to stink. And Moses was angry with them. So they gathered it each morning, each person according to what he could eat. And when the sun got hot, it would melt. And on the 6th day, they gathered twice as much food, 2 omers per person, and all the leaders of the community came and told Moses. He said to them, "This is what the Lord has said. Tomorrow is a time of a session from work, a holy Sabbath to the Lord. Oh man, whatever you want to bake to the day. Whatever you boil today. Whatever is left, put aside for yourself to keep until morning." So they put it aside until the morning, just as Moses had commanded. It did not stink, nor were there any worms in it. Moses said, "Eat it today, for today is a Sabbath to the Lord. Today you will not find it in the area. In the 6 days you will gather it, but on the 7th day, the Sabbath, there will not be any." On the 7th day, some of the people went out to gather it, but they found nothing. So the Lord said, "Moses, how long do you refuse to obey my commandments and my instructions?" Oh, man, come on, people. He even said the next day, it's like, there's not going to be any food. And what do you do? You're like, "I need to go get food because I forgot to make some last night." Moses even told you, no food. It's going to be out tomorrow. Lord takes a day off, okay? On Sunday, that's his day. He wants you to just relax. People. So the Lord said to Moses, "How long do you refuse to obey my commandments and my instructions? See, because the Lord has given you the Sabbath, that is why he is giving you food for 2 days. On the 6th day, each of you stay where you are. Let no one go out of his place the 7th day." So the people rested on the 7th day. People. Sorry guys, got a little burp there. Sorry. The house of Israel called its name manna. It was like the coriander seed, and it was white, and it tasted like wafers with honey. Ooh, that does sound good. Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded. Fill an omer with it to be kept for generations to come, so that they may see the food I fed you in the desert when I brought you out from the land of Egypt." Sounds good. Moses said to Aaron, "Take a jar and put it in an omer full of manna, and place it before the Lord to be kept for generations to come." Just as the Lord commanded Moses, so Aaron placed it before the testimony for safekeeping. Now the Israelites ate manna 40 years until they came to a land that was inhabited. They ate manna until they came to the border of the land of Canaan. Oh, here it says, so an omer is 1/10 of an ephah. I'm probably butchering it. I'm sorry, guys. You're like, "Greg, stop butchering things in the Bible." Okay. Chapter 17. Water at Massa and Meribah. The whole community of Israelites traveled on their journey from the desert of Sin according to the Lord's instruction, and they pitched camp in Rephidim. I think that's how you say that. Could be wrong. Now there was no water for the people to drink. Oh no. So the people continued with Moses, and they said, "Give us water to drink." They're like, "Give us water! Give us water!" Moses said to them, "Why do you contend with me? Why do you test the Lord?" But the people were very thirsty there for water, and they murmured against Moses, and he said, Why in the world did you bring us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst? Oh man, these Israelites have like no trust in God or Moses or Aaron. He's like, he brought you out of your city. Then he gave you food for like, it's like, you just saw food come out of nowhere. It was like, why are you complaining? You can probably just do something and give you water. Then Moses cried out to the Lord, what will I do with this people? A little more and they will stone me. The Lord said to Moses, go over before the people and take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand your staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. I will be standing before you on the rock in Horeb, and you will strike the rock, and water will come out of it so that the people may drink. And Moses did so in plain view of the elders. He called the name of the place Massah and Meribah, because of the contending of the Israelites and because of their testing the Lord, saying, is the Lord among us or not? Dang. Not cool. Okay. Victory over the Amalekites. I think that's how you say it. Amalek came and attacked Israel in Rephidim. So Moses said to Joshua, choose some of our men and go out, fight against Amalek. Tomorrow I will send out on top of the hill with the staff of God in my hand. So Joshua fought against Amalek just as Moses had instructed him. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Whenever Moses would raise his hands, then Israel prevailed. But whenever he would rest his hands, then Amalek prevailed. When the hands of Moses became heavy, they took a stone and put it under him. And then Aaron and Hur held up his hands, and one on the one side and one on the others. And so his hands were steady until the sun went down. Oh man, that sucks. So basically he would like keep his hands up just so Joshua would win the fight. But whenever his hands drop, they would lose. That sucks. It's like, just keep his hands up. It's like, we're almost done with the fight. Okay, so Joshua destroyed Amalek and his army with the sword. My question is, where did they get weapons from? Like, I would think, okay, they are kind of a militia. Like, some of the guys, they bring their tools with them. They probably have some swords. But I'm just saying, it's like, where are they getting all this stuff from? The Lord said to Moses, write this as a memorial in the book, and rehearse it in Joshua's hearing, for I will surely wipe out remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Oh, dang. Dang, Lord got a little dark there. Moses built an altar and called it, the Lord is my banner. For he said, for a hand was lifted up to the throne of the Lord, that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Dang. Okay, chapter 18. Vice of Jethro. Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard about all that God had done for Moses and for his people Israel, that's weird, that the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, took Moses' wife, Zipporah, after he sent her back, and her 2 sons. One of whom was named Gershom, for Moses had said, I had been a foreigner in a foreign land, and the other Eleazar, for Moses had said, the God of my father has been my help and delivered me from the sword of the Pharaoh. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, together with Moses' son and his wife, came to Moses in the desert where he was camping by the mountain of God. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. He said to Moses, I, your father-in-law Jethro, I'm coming to you along with your wife and her 2 sons with her, Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. They each asked about others' welfare, and they went into the tent. Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to the Pharaoh and to Egypt for Israel's sake, and all the hardship that had come on them along the way, and how the Lord had delivered them. Dang, it must be a long little story. So let me tell you, man, it's been a couple of weeks, probably a couple of months. And Jethro rejoiced because of all the good that the Lord had done for Israel, whom he had delivered from the hand of Egypt. Jethro said, "Blessed be the Lord, who has delivered you from the hand of Egypt, and from the hand of Pharaoh, who has delivered the people of the Egyptians' control." Like, he is screaming. He's like, bam. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all gods, for in the thing in which they dealt proudly against them, he has destroyed them. Then Joseph, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifices for the God, and Aaron and all the elders of Israel came to eat food. When the father-in-law of Moses before God, on the next day Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood around Moses from the morning until evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, "What is this that you are doing for the people? Why are you sitting by yourself, and all the people stand around you from morning until evening?" Moses said to his father-in-law, "Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have a dispute, it comes to me, and I decide between a man and his neighbor, and I make known the decrees of God and his laws." Moses' father-in-law said to him, What you are doing is not good. You will surely wear out, both you and these people who are with you, for this is too heavy a burden for you. You are not able to do by yourself. Now listen to me. I will give you advice. May the God be with you. You be a representative for the people to God, and you will bring their disputes to God. Warn them of the statutes and the laws, and make known to them the way in which they must walk, and work they must do. But you choose from the people capable men, God-fearing men of truth, those who hate bribes and put them over the people as rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. They will judge the people under normal circumstances. In every difficult case they will bring to you, but every small case they themselves will judge, so that you may make it easier for yourself, and they will bear the burden with you. If you do this thing, the God so commands you, then you will be able to endure, and all these people will be able to go home satisfied. That's not a bad idea, Jethro. Sounds like government right there. Moses listened to his father-in-law and did everything he said. Moses chose capable men of all Israel, and he made them heads over the people, rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s. They judged the people under normal circumstances. In difficult cases they would bring to Moses, but very small cases they would judge themselves. Then Moses sent his father-in-law on his way, and so Jethro went to his own land. He was like, "Thank you, Jethro. Bye. Go back. I don't need you no more." It's like, "Thank you for bringing my wife and my kids back." Okay, Israel at Sinai. In the 3rd month after the Israelites went out from the land of Egypt, on the very day they came to the desert of Sinai, after they journeyed from Rephidim, they came to the desert of Sinai. They camped in the desert. Israelites camped there in front of the mountain. Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain. "Thus you will tell the the house of Jacob, and declare to the people of Israel, yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and I have lifted you on eagle's wings and brought you out to myself. And now if you will diligently listen to me and keep my covenant, then you'll be my special possession out of all the nations. For all the earth is mine, and you will be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words that will speak to Israelites. Okay. So Moses came and summoned the elders of Israel. He set them before all these words that the Lord had commanded him, and all the people answered together, all that the Lord has commanded me, we will do. So Moses brought the words of the people back to the Lord. And the Lord said to Moses, I am going to come to you in a dense cloud, so that people may hear when I speak with you, and so that they will always believe in you. And Moses told the words of the people to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses, go to the people and sanctify them today and tomorrow, and make them wash their clothes, and be ready for the third day. For on the third day the Lord will come down to Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. You must set boundaries for the people all around, saying, take heed to yourselves not to go up on the mountain, nor touch its edge. Whoever touches the mountain will surely be put to death. No hand will touch him, but he will surely be stoned or shot through. Whether a beast or a human being, he must not live. When the ram's horn sounds a long blast, they may go up on the mountain. Man, it's like, don't touch damn. Okay. Then Moses went down from the mountain to the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. He said to the people, be ready for the third day. Do not go near your wives. Okay, that's weird. On the third day, in the morning, there was thunder and lightning and a dense cloud on the mountain, and the sound of a very loud horn. All the people who were in the camp trembled. Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and they took their places at the foot of the mountain. Now Mount Sinai was completely covered with smoke, because the Lord had denseded on it in fire. That's a weird word. And its smoke went up like the smoke of a great furnace, and the whole mountain shook violently. When the sound of the horn grew louder and louder, Moses was speaking, and the God was answering him with a voice. The Lord came down on Mount Sinai, on top of the mountain, and the Lord summoned Moses to the top of the mountain. Moses went up. The Lord said to Moses, go down and solemnly warn the people, lest they force their way through to the Lord to look, and may many of them perish. Let the priests also who approach the Lord sanctify themselves, lest the Lord break through against them. Moses said to the Lord, the people are not able to come up to Mount Sinai, because you solemnly warn us, set boundaries for the mountain, and set it apart. The Lord said to him, go, get down and come up, and Aaron with you, but do not let the priests and the people force their way through to come up to the Lord, lest he break through against them. So Moses went down to the people and spoke to them. Okay. Chapter 20. The Decalogue. I think that's how you say it. The Decalogue. God spoke all these words. Dun dun dun. I, the Lord, I'm your God. I, the Lord, I'm your God, who brought you from the land of Egypt, from the house of slavery. You shall have no other God before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image of any likeness of any that is in heaven, above, or that is on earth beneath, or that is in the water below. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. For I, the Lord your God, I'm a jealous God, responding to transgression of fathers by dealing with children to the third and fourth generations of those who reject me. Dang, I didn't know God was jealous. Aw, poor God. Don't be jealous. You got so many people that love you. Don't be jealous. And showing your covenant faithfulness to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take. So basically, I think this is the 10 Commandments. I think. Okay. Of those who love and keep my commandments. Okay. Next one. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold guiltless anyone who takes his name in vain. Yeah, so this is the 10 Commandments. Okay. Remember the Sabbath day to set it apart as holy. For 6 days you may labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son, or your daughter, or your male servant, or your female servant, or your cattle, or your resident foreigner who is in your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them, and you rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. Honor your father and mother, that you may live a long time in the land the Lord your God is giving to you. Okay. You shall not murder, shall not commit adultery, shall not steal, shall not give false testimony against your neighbor, shall not covet your neighbor's house. Like shouldn't, wait, does that mean like I shouldn't like covet like their possessions or something? Like if like my neighbor had like a, I don't know, like a Corvette or something, and I'm over here with like a Honda like GT or something, I shouldn't covet his Corvette or something. I guess like it's all about greed there, I think. And shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Well, no, you shouldn't, especially if you're married. You got your own wife. Nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that belongs to your neighbor. Dang. All the people were seeing the thundering and the lightning, and heard the sound of the horn, and saw the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they trembled with fear and kept their distance. They said to Moses, "You speak to us, and we will listen, but do not let God speak with us, lest we die." Moses said to the people, "Do not fear, for God has come to you to test you, that the fear of him may be before you, so that you do not sin." The people kept their distance, but Moses drew near the thick darkness where God was, the altar. Dun dun dun. Lord said to Moses, "Thus you will tell the Israelites, you yourselves have seen that I have spoken with you from heaven. You must not make gods of silver alongside me, nor make gods of gold for yourselves. You must make for me an altar made of earth. You will sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and peace offerings, your sheep and your cattle, in every place where I cause my name to be honored. It will come to you, and I will bless you. If you make me an altar of stone, you must not build it of stone shapes with tools. For if you use your tools on it, you have defiled it, and you must not go up by steps to my altar, so that your nakedness is not exposed." So basically, God is just telling them, like, hey, I want you to build something by your hand, not by your tools, not by gold, not by silver. I want you to take some dirt or some rocks, build me a nice altar, sacrifice some animals on top of it. And I think that's where we're going to now. So basically, Moses still kind of in the desert. Like, they made their way, they fought some people, and then they made their way to like this empty area, got some food, got some water. But it was only because Israelites were, murmuring against Moses and their God, because they're just like, oh, how are we supposed to trust this guy if he's not actually here, And then God's like, man, I'm going to come down, These people need some directions. So, first Jethro helped with that. He's like, hey, you can get other people to help you with, laws and stuff. And then God's like, okay, I'm going to come visit. And he comes and visit with his cloud, with his giant horn, trying to kill people, or not kill people, but it's really loud. From what they said, it shook the ground. And then basically God, or the Lord, gives Moses 10 sets of rules, or the 10 commandments. And it's like, you can't do this, 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 this. And then Moses starts walking down, and God's like, do this offering for me, but don't build it in gold, silver, or stone that you use by tools. Do it by hand. So that's where we'll end it, and I'll make sure to get some more videos out, maybe today or tomorrow. But thank you for watching, guys. Please leave a like down below, and please subscribe, share with your friends, because everyone needs a little bit of God for themselves. Or if you're a different religion, hey, I don't hate on different religions, so maybe you could teach me something. Be like, hey Greg, here's the Jewish Bible, like the Torah, or here's something from Buddhism. I don't mind learning about other religions, guys. So if you do, put it down in the comments, like, here's something I learned from this book, Greg, and I'll be like, okay, that's cool. I'll read up on it too. Like, I don't mind learning other religions. It's always good to get that noggin going again. Okay, thank you for watching, guys. Bye.